Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of Mitts Talks. Thank you guys for tuning in this evening. So this week's episode is going to talk to you about my weight loss journey, my healthy lifestyle journey, and then pretty much just fitness overall. So before I jump into the episode, I just want to take a moment to explain the title of this episode, which is Finding the Missing Piece of the Puzzle. A friend of mine, Keith White, who's kind of seen my weight loss struggles for the past couple of years, follows me on Instagram. And, one of the things that I do is I post all my workouts on Instagram. And, in the past couple of months, I've shown some great success, very thankfully. And, Keith sent me a note and he had said, congratulations, it seems like you found the missing piece of the puzzle. And, I thought that was fitting for this episode. Because for a lot of us, we are always looking to try to find the missing piece of the puzzle, and hopefully we find it before we quit. And that's the truth, right? That's a reality. So let's talk about my weight loss struggles, right? My struggles with weight. I've struggled with my weight my whole life. I am 42 years old. I struggle with my weight since I was a teenager. I went up in weight, down in weight, up in weight, down in weight. I remember, as I was at 11 when my parents got divorced, is pretty much probably a point where I was at my highest as a teenager in weight gain. Obviously, it was probably emotionally eating. But, and then I also had that mentality, right? That, just because, that skinny people, was the way you wanted to be. You wanted to be skinny, If my family, when you lost weight, they used to be like, oh my God, you're looking great. That's amazing. But when you're gaining weight, they're like, oh, what's going on? Drop some pounds. And, that was one of the things that, that's why I used to think that being skinny was the best way to be. Also, we didn't always talk about, nutrition in my household. That was something that we never discussed. We never talked about fatty foods. We never talked about sugar. We never talked about sodium, processed foods, any of those things. And let me just tell you something, as a father, I make sure that I have those conversations with my son to teach him young to understand what it is to be able to live a healthy lifestyle. And that is something that's very important. So going back to the part of my fluctuating with weight, being heavy, it impacts you. And I think for you guys out there who can relate, you understand what I'm talking about, right? You don't feel always very confident. You sometimes want to overlayer. Sometimes you don't want to take your shirt off. It's a big impact, to you psychologically and emotionally. And that goal that you always want to try to find the right diet to get you to the perfect body that you want, I think is something you keep trying to do for a long time until you finally hit that moment. So that's talking about that moment for me, right? That's where I want to kind of bring this up a bit more. So about 3 years ago, I made the decision to, I had the luxury of a gym opening up next door to my job. I know it's rare, not everyone has that luxury, but that's something that fell on my laps, and I was like, perfect. So I went ahead and I joined this gym, and I made a commitment to go to Crunch every single day, every single time I work. So if I worked, I was at the gym on my lunch break, and then I would go ahead and I would, go back to work. I've done this for 3 years. It is successful. I am very thankful for it, but it took me a long time. But I definitely can tell you that I changed the mindset to do that. Just to pause on that for 1 second to just elaborate on something. People ask me, how is it possible that I do this? How do I go to the gym on my lunch break? And I tell them something. If you're a slow eater, how long does it take you to eat your food? 15, 10 minutes. If you're a slow eater, no, 20 minutes maybe. If you're a fast eater, you're probably done in 10 minutes. So what do you do for that other 40 to 45 minutes? Yeah, you can hang out, play with your phone, look at the TV, talk to your coworkers, whatever it might be. But can you do something to help your lifestyle, your healthier lifestyle, to become more active, especially if your person is trying to lose weight or just be active? I took that opportunity to say, I want to do that. I don't want to play on my phone and be liking pictures on Instagram. I don't want to be seeing Elvis on Mitts Talks. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully you do though. But that's a reality. So I said, let me do something productive. So I joined the gym, and that's where I go for my lunch breaks. Again, it's not something that everyone can do. I just found something that works in my life schedule and my lifestyle and my schedule. So back to this point, going back to Crunch, right? So I'm going five times a week, no problem at all. Turn around and I ended up falling into this big fitness bug. I was like all about wanting to work out, all about trying to know everything there is about in the fitness industry. So I turned around and started going to all these fitness studios. I'm going to Tone House, I'm going to Flywheel, I'm going to Soul Cycle, I'm going to Fitting Room, I'm going to Crank. You name it, I'm trying all these different workout studios, mainly because it's not, I like the mentality of the isolation workout when I'm by myself, but I also like the mentality of seeing what else, I also like the ability, of seeing what else is out there so that I can add that to my fitness tool belt to, if not only for myself, but maybe being able to help somebody else. So I turn around and trying all these workouts, all these studios. I'm doing these workouts in the gym, and I'm going like 5 times a day, 5 times a week, 5 to 6 times a week. And I remember like a year ago, I remember this past January, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, for the amount of working out that I do, I kind of feel like I don't look the role. I just don't look the role. And, you would think for that much dedication, and financial, commitment, I would be showing a lot more than I physically saw. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine, Joe Sanchez, and him and I were talking, and I had told him that I was thinking about getting lipo. I was like, hey, Joe, man, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get some fat removed on some of the key areas that I'm struggling to lose weight on or firm up. And Joe was like, dude, man, that's kind of drastic. He goes, hey, I just got in this program that teaches you the basics of nutrition. Maybe you'd be interested in getting this program. And I was like, nah, you know what, man? I got this, bro. I work out enough. I'm going to figure it out, but I'll get there. And I dismissed him. 5 weeks later, I walk by, I see Joe, and he looks skinny, and he's lost a lot. He lost a good amount of weight. So I come up to Joe, and I'm like, hey, man, how much weight have you lost? And in 5 weeks, he's like, oh, I dropped like 15 pounds. I'm like, dude, sign me up. I'm like, I need to know what this is about. Sign me up. So I get in this program that Joe's in. It's called Omada, and it pretty much just teaches you about nutrition. There's no product you have to consume. They send you a scale, tell you to basically weigh yourself every single day, and they will send you information weekly on nutrition, understanding nutrition. And I was just like, you know what? I'll try this out. Why not? I have a history of my family has a history of high blood pressure and heart disease, and then diabetes, and I struggle with weight. I was the perfect candidate to get into this program. So here I go, January 13th, and I get on the scale, and the scale tells me you weigh 278 pounds and 4 ounces. Yes, 200. I paused, and I couldn't believe that, and I was just like, that's insane. Not for the amount of working out that I do. Maybe in my mind I justified it by saying, well, Elvis, muscle is kind of heavy too. But I was like, nah, man, that's lying to yourself, dude. You weigh this much. So I got on this program. I committed to weighing myself every day. So I would say maybe a little over 5.5 to 6 months, I lost 70 pounds. I lost 70 pounds. And I will tell you right now, because I say this to a lot of people, it wasn't because I got in this program solely, right? Nutrition is key. It is 80% of the workout journey, and then 20% is actually working out. But the biggest part of it was that me going ahead and having already the mentality, what it knows to be in the gym, to work hard, to be, as Dwayne Johnson says, the hardest working person in the gym. I already had that mentality. Now I just needed to just add in the nutrition portion. Understanding that I didn't need all the sugar in my coffee. I didn't need all the creamer in my coffee. I didn't have to have a bagel in the morning. I didn't deserve a bacon, egg, and cheese because I worked out. I didn't need to grab a muscle milk because I really didn't understand 100% what the muscle milk would do. Oh yeah, but everyone got it, so why not? Understanding, what pre-workout is. Understanding, maybe I should have an apple if I in between my meals versus going ahead and having a bag of chips. And a lot of times people just justify having bad choices to eat because they feel like they work out and they deserve it. But guess what? If you work out a lot, do you really mean to tell me that you deserve that much, all that bad food? How are you gonna get to your goals? So, yes, 70 pounds. I'm super thankful, and that I was able to find the missing piece of the puzzle. And I'm here to share that with you guys. I'm not at a point in my journey right now where I'm trying to lose weight anymore. I'm at a point in my journey where I am trying to just lean out. And the big thing about it is that, so the biggest part I want you to take away from this episode is educate yourself when it comes down to working out. Educate yourself when it comes down to nutrition. And be patient. But the working out portion, I see a lot of people go to the gym and just look to the left, look to the right, and then say, what are you working out on? Yeah, I want to do that too. Or, you sit there and you look at YouTube channels, just random channels that you just, yeah, I want to get bigger arms. Yep, I'm gonna do that. Okay, whatever that guy does, okay, I'm gonna do like 80 of these. And then the arms are out to here, and they're like, why aren't my biceps getting any bigger? Form. Invest in a trainer, but and then at the same time, there's a wealth of studios out there now, or companies that are offering streaming. If you're the person that your schedule does not permit you to be able to go to the gym in the morning or in the evening, or if you have a very hectic schedule because of work or your family, you can do home workouts. There are days where I want to work out, so I'll go home and do my Nike NTC workout. But they are, I know that Peloton has one. I know that Fitting Room has a streaming app. I know that City Roll has a streaming app as well. Like, there's a lot of these apps out there that give you the ability to work out at home as well. So it starts making it easier to remove the word excuse. You have to take that out of your mentality. Excuses. Just know your strengths and know your weaknesses. You know that if you're not a morning person, you're not going to want to go ahead and say, I want to work out every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's not what you want to do. But if you know that maybe you're an evening person and that works better, go ahead and do that. Know your strengths, know your opportunities, have self-awareness. I think that was a big part of my journey. And knowing that, I know that I know that the evenings are tough, but the mornings are better, the afternoons are great. I'm going to build my workout around there. So, overall, guys, I just want to tell you, your journey is your journey. I know what it is to struggle with weight. I know what it is to feel amazing when you've actually lost it. I know where I stand, when it comes down to looking at reaching that goal, reaching the success, finding the better version of yourself, and feeling really happy of the way you look outside as well as how much you love yourself inside, and then another thing I will touch on down the road, the way, we are designed in this world to think, it's super expensive to eat healthy. I could go to McDonald's and get 2 cheeseburgers or a salad for so much less than I actually going out and, making my own salad. That's not technically true. I can tell you this much. I found cheaper ways of eating. I just took the time to invest in that. But again, where you want to cut corners now because you're like, oh, I save more money eating bad, that's short term. Because down the road, long term, medical bills are going to be just as expensive, if not even more. And so just take that to consideration. And then on another side note, because I just want to throw this in there because it was something I talked about briefly in my Instagram. If you're on a healthy lifestyle journey, understand that no one's telling you have to commit 110% to changing your entire life, right? I like burgers. I don't eat burgers all the time, but I like burgers. I don't eat, one of the things I'll do is if I've had out of 10 days, 9 of them, smart choices with great workouts, and I have a burger on the 10th day, it's not going to cry me to bed. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So you have to be able to think about, like, how do you treat yourself? How do you know it's the balance? That's how you make this successful. You have to find a balance. No one's sitting here and telling you never enjoy another beer or have a drink again. Maybe you're not going to want to have a bunch of margaritas because they're loaded with sugar or a bunch of frosty drinks. But yeah, you can have a drink once in a while. You can have a drinks. Just balance it out. Balance it all out. It's all about balance, the right balance. Again, and then, that's just where I talk about for the people out there who have a social life. Make sure you understand what you're putting in your body from a hangout perspective if you're drinking, because you don't want it to hit the waistline in a bad way. And then you're sitting there like, oh man, I worked out for 45 minutes and I burned 300 calories, but I just had like 4 margaritas. Yep, that just went out the window. That just went out the window, that workout. In regards to the calorie burning versus the calorie intake. And then the last thing I would actually tell you guys is I am not a fan of diets. I'm not a fan of diets. People hit me up all the time. What's your diet? What's your diet secrets? I'm not a fan of diet. I'm not on a diet. I am not on a diet. I'll say it one more time. Not on a diet. Diets are temporary in my personal opinion. Diets are from the people looking to get into a certain outfit for an event. Diets are for people when they're looking to get a certain body weight goal for the beach or for the holidays. That's not, but once you at that moment, once you've hit that goal, you don't care anymore. And then you're back in a couple of months to where you started. That's why I don't believe it. I believe you need to find something that you can say will be a lifestyle. A lifestyle. That's what you need to focus on. So yet again, you know, think about where's the balance. Think about how do you end up trying to still enjoy the things you do, but just controlling them in moderation. I will tell you this again, guys. I struggled with my weight my whole life. You know, it's 278 pounds at the beginning of this year in January. I'm 70 pounds down now. I'm literally at the best shape of my life at 42 years old. So don't let age ever make you feel like you can't get to your goal, because that's nonsense. And yet again, like, not only what it's done for me physically, emotionally, mentally, I will tell you that as a father, like, I love 90% of the conversations I have with my son about fitness, nutrition, and health. I think it's amazing. So, and then at the same time, what I didn't get as a child, these weren't conversations I had with my parents or in a home, I'm having with my kid now. And then that's gonna make sure that he lives a healthier and longer life because he cares. And you know what? That's gonna be a lot easier down the road if you're living these healthier lifestyles, that you're not contributing to, you know, poor health that could result in, God forbid, high medical bills. Which a lot of times we don't think about that when we eat, you know, McDonald's 2 times a day, you know. So yet again, think about yourself, think about your health. Hopefully this episode really helped you out. Again, my goal was to be able to be a resource. If you need additional, if you have some questions or you want a couple of tips that I could share with you, or send me an email, send me a note, subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. Stay tuned, as next week I will be talking to you guys about a mental positivity story. Hopefully a lot of you guys are looking for some switching it up. So next week, yet again, I will be talking to you about mental positivity. Thank you guys very much. MITS episode 3 is a wrap. Have a great time.